The Kano State Police Command says it believes that Tuesday's explosion at Sabon Gari area was triggered by a combination of combustible chemicals retrieved from the explosion scene. Arise News correspondent Nisi Gabriel has more on this.
On the 17th of May 2022, a deafening explosion brought down a story building in Sabon Gari area of Kano State. The cause of the explosion is still controversial. Residents say it's a bomb blast, while the Kano State government believes the explosion was triggered by a gas cylinder. The Kano State Police Command says the viral signal message that was sent out indicating that the explosion was caused by a suicide bomber was misinformation.
The team that cordoned off the area, they are led by the Commissioner of Police. Even from the reports we first obtained, all the people that sent messages to us and called us, they said a suicide bomber detonated a bomb in that place. But however, when they say this, we are police, we have to go and find out and investigate. When we went there, we learned that the facing outside there, in front of that collapsed building, is a welder which owns the welding shop. And you can see when we come, that is why we immediately, even at the scene, after the first preliminary is obtained, we issue press release on the main cause of the explosion.
On visiting the Kano State anti-bomb unit, we were told that combustible chemicals were retrieved from the explosion scene, and it is suspected to be the cause of the explosion. The police gave Arise News exclusive access to the recovered exhibits, and they include potassium, unidentified volatile chemicals, and tobacco. According to the police, the chemicals recovered will be taken to a private lab for forensic analysis.
We were able to discover that the explosion is ignited by some other chemicals contained in a warehouse attached to that collapsed building, where some chemical substances were also recovered and some combustible materials they are also recovered, which I will take you around. You will go there and see them. We recovered them at the scene, and currently we have launched discreet investigation into this matter, and after our investigation, we'll let you know the details of the investigation.
There have been many speculations regarding the cause of the explosion in Sabon Gari area of Kano State. Earlier, government officials told the Rise News that the blast emanated from a welder's shop, alleging that it was the cause of a gas explosion. But the Kano State Police Command says no gas cylinder was recovered from the site of the incident, and the welder was the first casualty during the explosion.
The dead body, they first identified, is the owner of that welding shop. He's the welder, and he's the first victim, and was the body that was first recovered outside, and he was also among the deaths over there.
The Kano State Police Command has launched a discreet investigation to unravel the cause of the explosion. While the state government tells residents to remain calm, many are keenly observing to know the outcome of all investigations. Nisi Gabriel, Arise News, Kano.
And for more updates on the story, we're now being joined by Superintendent of Police Abdullahi Kiyawa, Police Public Relations Officer from the Kano State Police Command. Great to have you, Superintendent. A pleasure to have you this morning. A very sad incident out of Kano. I'd just like to ask you, what are we to believe? The Commissioner of Information in Kano State says it was caused by an explosion at the animal feed place. Yesterday, we had the emergency response chief out of Kano saying that it was caused by something that happened at the welder's place. And the welder's place still happens to be intact. And thirdly, this morning, all of a sudden, the police now brings out a bunch of chemicals out of an area that wasn't cordoned off and said it's combustible materials that might have wreaked the havoc. So what is really going on here?
Good morning, everybody. At the onset of when the report was reported to the police, at that particular time, you cannot assert fully the exact cause of the explosion. But however, when team of experts went to the scene, first of all, they were able to discover, first of all, four suspected bodies that are dead, and they were rushed to hospital where a medical doctor confirmed all the four deaths. dead, including 1 female and 3 males, including the said owner of the welding shop. As at the preliminary then, what we can only establish is that there was a welding shop there, and also near the welding shop, there is another warehouse that houses chemicals. There are 4 shops attached to the building, and also the building is directly opposite Winners Kid School. It's a primary school. So even when we obtained the report, many people are saying suicide bomber at the said private school. But however, at the preliminary investigation, we were able to discover that the welding shop of that welder, and also in addition to that, search conducted in the place after the building collapsed by experts, we were able to recover more dead bodies. So the bodies that we identified are 7 in number, a total of 4 males and 3 females. That is 7 in number. And also there are 2 additional bodies that cannot be identified because of the extent of the explosion on them. Currently, investigation has been launched. There is no need of arguing whether it is this or that, because first of all, we were able to establish that the 4 shops attached to the building, only the second and the third shop were affected. The second shop, that is the welding shop, whereas the third shop is the shop that houses all those different types of chemical substances, which were all recovered by the police, and now we have launched investigation. From our preliminary, as I said, the explosion is suspected to be caused by the gas cylinders and ignited by that chemicals in the second shop. Now, as I am telling you now, we have launched investigation into this case fully because of all the recoveries we made at the scene.
Well, SP Kiyawa, let me ask you. It took the police less than 24 hours to declare that this was a case of gas explosion. So you are talking of investigation. Was any investigation carried out before the police issued a statement on the day of the incident to say that, oh, this was gas explosion? And let us even assume that it was gas explosion. Was it just an accident? Or could it have been the effect of a criminal enterprise? Because someone can weaponize a gas cylinder and use it to cause mayhem. Gas cylinders don't just go off like that. So why did the gas cylinder, let's assume it is, go off? And why did the police, within a matter of hours, just jump to the conclusion and issue a statement to that effect?
The police do not jump to conclusion. They only gave what was found by experts at the scene and their first preliminary investigation. And what the police said is they did not conclude as gas explosion. We said suspected gas explosion because of the presence of the welding shop and the gas cylinders contained in the welding shop. Then it is later on we discovered that the second shop attached to the welding shop houses all those chemicals that was found under the building when the rescue mission is in progress. So with this, that is where we, at the preliminary investigation, we stated that it is a suspected gas explosion. And now the discrete investigation with the tests that will be carried out on those chemicals will come out fully with the main details about the case. But it's not that we concluded and said it is gas explosion. We said suspected gas explosion.
Right. Have there been any arrests made? And if there have, what have those people been charged with? If they haven't, what kind of charges are you looking to file against whoever is arrested?
Nobody is arrested so far, and all things will be determined by the investigation. And it is the investigation that will reveal everything. And based on the investigation, the police will carry on with their activities.
So, where is the cylinder in the first place? Where is the cylinder that triggered all of this? Did you see the cylinder at the site? And did you take a forensic team to the site And I'll ask you
Of course,
again. No, hang on a minute. Let me finish, please. I'll ask you again, where is the epicenter? Because we've heard 3 different stories now. Or we've heard the animal feed stock. So it's no longer the animal feed place any longer. You are saying even the, what's it called now, the welder's place is not as important now as the other warehouse where you found chemicals. And what chemicals did you find there? And when you got there, did you find the chemicals in a combustible state? Were they burning already? Because when I saw the bottles of the chemicals brought out, you said potassium and the likes in there. They didn't look like they were affected by any form of fire. So what are you saying, really?
Based on what I said, first of all, there is a welding shop there. And you know, it is always on operation. And even the welder was affected. Secondly, the police do not give information on not only what they hear, but what they see, the examination conducted at the scene, and also the evidences they gathered. And as I'm telling you, all those recovered things from the scene are in possession of the police, and we are launching investigation.
But where's the cylinder?
After investigation.
Where's the cylinder? Where's the cylinder? Because the police also said they didn't find any cylinder at the site. So where's the cylinder? And what happened? Why is it that the welder shop is still intact after the explosion?
The welding shop is not intact. The 2 affected shops are the welding shop and then this shop that houses these chemicals. And all the samples we obtained there, they will be subjected to test to find the exact cause of the explosion. As at the preliminary, you cannot clearly state what ignited the explosion. But however, with the recoveries made and the preliminary examination conducted by the team of experts from our explosive ordnance disposal, that is chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense conducted, that is where we have the summary of our preliminaries. And of course, I am telling you, discrete investigation have been launched, and we will feed you with the details of the investigation after.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. And we wish the people of Kano well at this very sad period.